Hello and welcome to Michi Designs. Happy Easter celebrations to my Christian brothers and sisters. So in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful baby Ankara ball gown plus the fascinator you can see on this baby's head. So we're going to learn how to make this today, being Easter Sunday. So let's get started. The materials we're using are this Ankara dress. We have the black fabric, we have the lining, and then the net material. So we're going to start by drafting the pattern for the upper bodice. If you don't know how to draft the basic bodice pattern, please check my description box. I added the link there. So we're going to start by marking the zipper allowance. Note that we're going to draft both the front and back bodies together in one pattern. So we're starting with the zipper allowance for the back. So I'm using 1.5 inches. I'm connecting that line. Then we can now start our measurement after the zipper allowance. We're using shoulder measurement of 6.5 inches, and then we're using same thing for the armhole, 6.5 inches. Then we're going to connect the chest line, which is derived from your armhole, 6.5 inches plus your 1 inch shoulder slope, making it 7.5 inches. That's me connecting the armhole there. So I'm marking the 1 inch shoulder slope, and then I'm marking the neckline of 3 inches by 3. I'm using 3 by 3 inches here for width and depth for the neckline. Then I'll mark the shoulder slope of 1 inch. I'll now connect the chest line measurement here. So I'll now mark the half length of this baby is 10 inches plus 1 inch, so in allowance, making it 11 inches. I'm connecting it right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get the midpoint of the armhole. I'll fold the tape into two to get the midpoint of the armhole. I'll mark that midpoint there. Then I'll divide her chest measurement by 4, which I just marked. Then I'll come in by half an inch on the midpoint to draw my front armhole curve. As you can see me doing, I came in by half an inch on that midpoint of the armhole line to draw the front armhole curve, connected it straight to the chest line using her chest line measurement divided by 4. So her chest measurement is 29 inches. Added 2 inches so in allowance. So we're going to mark the same measurement on the half length and then connect straight, as you can see me doing. Then I add my back armhole curve from that midpoint straight to her chest measurement, and then I add the back neckline. I used 1.5 inches for the back neckline. I'll now connect the same 1.5 inch straight to the zipper allowance side, as you can see me doing. Then now the next thing is for me to shape the back to avoid this bulge on that zipper allowance. I came in by half an inch on the waistline and connected it back to the neckline, to the zipper allowance on the neckline. So we're done with this pattern. The next is to cut it out. So remember to add half an inch on the shoulder so your measurement doesn't short. As you can see me doing, I only have an inch there. So in allowance, I'll add the same thing on the neckline down to the zipper allowance side, half an inch on the neckline, back neckline, because I'm cutting out the back pattern first. Since we're drafting both front and back together. So we'll cut our back first before we cut our front. So the pattern is set. So I'll place it on my pattern and my fabric, and then I'll cut it out. So I'm cutting out the back first. So I will now cut, after cutting the back out, I will now cut out the armhole, the back armhole from the pattern, and the back neckline and the zipper allowance, so I can cut my front pattern out. So as you can see, I'm cutting out the zipper allowance because we don't need that zipper allowance on the front pattern. So now the front pattern is here. I'm using it to cut out my fabric for the front bodice. So I've cut out my front bodice now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use this fabric for both front and back to cut out the lining. So I'm using the fabric cut out from my pattern to cut out my line, the exact shape for the lining. I'm using a plain black fabric as my lining. It's a thick fabric. So I'll use it to cut out for both front and back. The same way I cut out the front and back, exactly the same way I'm going to cut out the lining. So I'm trying to make sure that the fabric doesn't shift. So I'm done cutting out the lining. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out the baby collar, or you can call it a cape. If you look at the dress, wherever you see that there's a little cape in front or a little collar at the front of the dress. So I'm going to trace it out using the front bodice that I already cut out. I'll place it on the black fabric that I'll use as my collar, and trace out the front neckline down to the shoulder line, as you can see me doing. So I'll now remove the fabric, and then I'll go in on the shoulder line to about 3 to 4 inches. Then on the neckline I'll come down by like 1.5 inches. I'll now connect as you can see me doing with a chalk, from the shoulder line to the neckline to form my cape or collar. So you can call it collar, actually, baby collar. So you can see me matching the collar on the front bodice now. I'll slit it at the center front. I'll slit it. Then I'm going to cut. You can see how it looks. It's actually a baby collar. Then I'm going to cut 2 of this, because I'm going to turn it out. I'm going to cut 2 of that collar. I'm going to turn it out with each of the fabric there. So that's that for the bodice. This one is for the down part of the dress. You can see the dress has 3 layers down. So I'm going to use this black fabric, the Ankara, and then I'm going to use this net lace plus Ankara for the last layer. So now this is also me trying to join front and back bodies together. I already sewed the collar at the front. Then I haven't, please just note here that I haven't added lining to this dress. So I'm sewing this fabric. I'm joining the shoulder of the front and the back together, fabric to fabric. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the lining too, before I will now use the lining to turn out the dress. As you can see, I've joined the shoulders with 1/2 inch, the one that we left on our pattern. I've done the same thing for the lining, and I'll now place the lining front to fabric and stitch around the neckline, around the armhole, and around the side. I'm not going to stitch the down because I'm going to join the down to the skirt part of the dress. So I've turned out the lining right now here. I've turned it out. I'm going to iron it flat. You can see the cape, or the collar, sorry. It's looking already, the dress is already taking shape and it's looking beautiful. So I'm going to shape the side now. So before I do that, I'm going to attach belt. The dress has belt, so I've already cut out the belt. So I'm going to sew the belt and attach it before I shape the bodice. So I'm going to do that right now. So I've done that. That is kept aside. So this is the down part of the dress. I've already joined the black fabric to the Ankara. Then this last layer, I'm going to use the net to cover it. I'm going to fold this last layer into two. So I cut exactly the same measurement with the net too. Remember, this dress is, the down part is gathered, so I multiplied her waist measurement by 3. So the total length of fabric I cut for all the layers is about 19 inches long, both for the black and the Ankara. 90 inches long. So I'm going to gather it to her waist measurement, which is about 29 inches. So I'm going to join this last layer now. Remember, I placed the net on that Ankara, on top of that Ankara. Now I will sew front to front. After sewing, this is what I have. So I'm going to fold it into two. The other end of the last layer, I'm going to use it to join the lining. Also place it front to front with the lining and join it. After joining to the lining, I'll now fold it towards the line. I'm done joining with the lining here, so I'll fold it up towards the lining. So this other end of this last layer that I added with the net fabric that I'm folded into two, the other end I folded is going to form part of the lining. So that place is going to have a neat finishing. You can see it. I'm placing it, I folded that place into two, and it looks very neat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this lining now to turn the skirt round. I'll sew the side and upper part of it. You can see how neat I've turned the lining out, inside out, and you can see the other fold of that last layer forming part of the lining too. So there's a neat finishing of that last layer. You won't see any form of hemming or lining poking out there. Then I've gathered this round to her waist measurement of 29 inches. So I added 1.5 zip allowance to it. So I gathered 30.5 inches there. So I'm going to join it to the bodice because it's the same measurement I have on the bodice. I've joined it here. You can see how beautiful it looks already. So the next thing is to go and attach zip at the back, to fix the zip at the back. So I fix the zip here. So our dress is ready. It's ready. So if the collar, I'm going to use this lace trimmings to beautify the collar. So I'm gluing it. I'm not stitching the trimmings to it. I'm gluing it to the baby collar. So I'm using my candle gum to glue it to the collar. And after this, our dress is ready. So the dress is ready. This is the final look of the dress. Kindly subscribe to my channel and please click on the notification bell. Thank you for watching this video. See you in my next video. The video for this fascinator on her head is in a different video. It's also in the description box. Please check there so you can watch how I made the fascinator. Have a lovely day. Bye.